If you're working on your dryer like I do in this video, make sure the dryer is unplugged before you start. Got a free dryer posted on Facebook, posted 12 minutes ago, says something's wrong with the drum. People giving it away said the drum just stopped turning. They don't know why. Hopefully it's just a broken belt. We'll see. I found a video online on YouTube with this same model dryer. Somebody's taking it apart to replace the belt, so I appreciate that video. It showed me exactly what to do. There are two clips on the front. Those have to be pried up. And then this top piece will lean back, and unless you have something behind it, it'll just keep going. So I have a ladder set up behind it, and that's going to stop it from going all the way back. And what we want to find under here, we want to find a broken belt. That would be an easy fix. And I do see a belt. It's out of the track. You can see the markings right here on the drum. That's where the belt normally is. Let me lean this back. The belt, hopefully it is broken. No, it is not. It has just come off the pulley on the motor down below and the idler pulley or tensioner pulley, I forget what you call it. So there's an issue underneath the drum. We got to figure out why. Why did it come off those pulleys underneath the drum? The easiest way to get a look under that drum is to take this vent pipe out, and there's one screw holding that in. Now we can see under the drum and see what's going on with that belt. And what's going on inside is that the idler pulley has broken off. There should be a pulley on that stud right there. Down below that, that's the motor. That's the pulley on the motor. And actually down here on the right, there's the pulley right there. That's where the idler pulley should be, so for whatever reason it fell off, and the spring fell off as well. There's probably a spring inside the cabinet too. So let me look for that spring. I found the spring. It is not broken, so we need the idler arm pulley assembly, I guess you would call it. I found the part that I needed online. It'd be about $10 delivered, but I'm taking the old one out. There's only one Phillips head screw that holds it in. I just want to get a look at it and make sure it matches the picture that I see online. Looks like what happened with this one was that the bearings locked up, because I can barely turn that, and the pulley kept spinning, got so hot that it melted the plastic. Pulley eventually fell off, so that's what I need. I need a new arm and pulley assembly. I do not need a new spring. Now the question is, will the motor run? So I need to plug it in, make sure the motor will run before I spend those $10. Sounds good. Sounds like that motor's turning. And yes, it is. And I can also feel heat coming out, so the heating element is working. Got the idler pulley ordered, and while I'm waiting for it, I'm going to take everything apart and get it cleaned up. You can see that the lint trap or lint screen, that's as far as it'll go down. The problem is it is clogged up with lint and pet hair. To get the front panel off, you have to remove 6 Phillips head screws, 3 on top and 3 behind the door. 1 up here, 2 down below. And up top it's these 3 on the metal, not on the porcelain. There's a clip like this on either side, and I'm using a flathead screwdriver to kind of pry it up over that clip. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now that one's loose. Then I'm going to pull the panel towards me and it should pop out. Now I've got a wiring harness holding it in. The video I watched made this look very easy, disconnecting this wiring harness, and I just cannot get this out. So I have a plan B. Remove the wire from these 3 little clips that hold it in place, and that should give me enough slack to be able to move the door around to the side of the dryer. So I need to lean that front panel towards me and lift up. And now there is enough slack in this wire to just move the door out of the way. So that's one way to do it. You do not have to disconnect that wiring harness. And now 1, 2, 3 Phillips head screws. Nope, forget the drill. That's starting to strip out. Look how nasty that is. Now this piece in front of the drum, 4 Phillips head screws, 2 on each side. Another wiring harness, but this one's easy. Just press down on that locking tab and pull it apart. Now I can finally get the drum out, and it's going to have to come out these 2 little cutouts right here. See, 1 on either side. Looks like it's going to have to go through there. Removing 2 Phillips head screws allowed me to take this piece off, Put some fresh grease on the 2 rollers in the back. Also greased up the other 2 rollers, the ones in the front. Took off the heating element because there's hair and lint on that wire element. Also clean this out where the heat goes through and up top. Got this cleaned out because that was almost completely clogged up. And now that it's clean, reinstalling the heating element. 1 screw right here in the front. All that dust and dirt and hair and sand that I just vacuumed up, it got past the filter because all this was in here and the filter wasn't fitting tightly. To get this plastic piece off that the lint screen slides down into, there's 1 screw to take off in the front and 3 across the back. And once those are out, you can remove this piece, and if yours is like mine, you may have something like this stuck behind it. So just spraying off what you can see might not be enough. You need to take it apart. New idler pulley is here. I'll put a link down below in the description to the page where I bought this off eBay. It does appear to be a match. Also, you can see I have all the screws organized. I would suggest you do the same to make sure they all go back in the right spot. Now when you're installing the idler pulley, this small little tab fits into that curved slot. And you want the longer metal tab facing towards the back of the dryer. And that tab, in the event that the pulley comes off or the spring breaks, this arm will fall down and it'll push up on that kill switch, which turns off the motor. So you line the holes up, use the new screw that comes with the new idler pulley, and even with that tightened all the way down, there's a little bit of clearance that allows the idler pulley arm to move up and down. And now the spring hooks in down here and onto the idler arm. Now let me get the belt to show you how it's going to go around this pulley on the idler arm and the pulley on the motor. The belt's going to be coming down like this because it's going to be wrapped around the drum. I want the smooth side to the outside, the side with ridges to the inside, so it'll fit in the grooves on the pulley on the motor. Then I'm going to be pulling up on the idler pulley, and I'm going to work the belt around like this. And the belt's not going to be together like this when it's installed because it's going to be pulled away like that. So the tension of the spring is pulling the belt back down, and that's going to pull it tight around the drum. So that's how it's going to look when it's installed. The drum's going to be in the way, so I'm not going to be able to see what I'm doing. I'm going to have to do it by feel. I have the belt around the drum with the flat side to the outside, and I have it right in the middle, right where the old tracks from the old belt are, and I'm going to use the belt to lift the drum up. I want to be careful that I get the 2 rollers in the back down in this groove on the back of the drum. Now with the belt around the drum, I want to make sure I get it in that track like I mentioned before. And I'm going to make a mark on it. And then spin the drum all the way around until that mark comes back, just to make sure that the belt is flat against the drum all the way around. See, we're off the track right here. There's the mark. The belt was flat all the way around. We're good. We can put it all back together. When you're reinstalling this front piece that has the rollers will slide back and forth, and you need to have them pushed forward to give you more room to fit that roller underneath the front edge of the drum, just like we did in the back. So if you lift the drum up a little bit, and then you have to work that little metal tab into that slot, and you got to do that for all 4. And then put your screws in. And once those 4 screws are in, don't forget the wiring harness. When I put this piece back on off camera, I put it on backwards. because I was missing that spot that receives a mounting screw for this piece. Now putting the front panel on, you have to lift it up so that that metal tab slides down into that slot. There's one on either side. So you get it locked in down below, and now when I push it in, these tabs should snap down into those holes. There goes the one on the right. And the left. The lint screen, and remember earlier when this would not slide all the way down? But now with it cleaned out, it's good to go. Now the vent pipe, and you just have to look through. You can see the pipe on the other end that you have to line it up with. And if your vent pipe comes out as easily as this one does, this would be the first place I look if I push the button on my dryer and nothing happens. Because if that happens, that could mean that your spring broke, your belt broke, or your idler pulley broke. And if it's the spring or the idler pulley, you can replace it by sticking your hand through here. If it's a broken belt, you're going to have to take it apart because you got to get that belt around the drum. But the spring or the pulley, you can fix through here. I want to put that wire back in those clips. And that's it, we're done. Final test, plugged in, powered up, set to normal dry. No noise from the rollers, no noise from the new idler pulley. I can hear the drum turning. It is getting warm inside, so the heating element is working. So all this needed was an idler pulley and a good cleaning. It was absolutely filthy, but the only thing that was broken was the idler pulley. $10.65 delivered. I'll put a link down below to the eBay page where I bought this idler pulley. Put the model number also, and hopefully this video helped you out. There's good free stuff out there. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of work to get it running. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching.